I'm Bill Hibner with the Montgomery County Board of Elections. Welcome to our video series for training for precinct election officials. Our goal is by the end of the series for you to feel confident in your ability to serve the voters of Montgomery County. Now, we understand that you may still have some questions and concerns about working the polls after watching this video series. We ask you not to worry though. We want to make sure that you're prepared to serve at your location. On Election Day, you'll have additional precinct election officials who've served before, a voting location manager who has the experience to lead your precinct team, a polling location supervisor who receives additional training and can troubleshoot the equipment or handle any special situations that arrive on Election Day. In addition, we'll have rovers who stop by your location to bring any additional supplies you need, fix any problems you may have, or answer any questions. And of course, the Board of Elections is only a quick phone call away on Election Day. Our topics for today are an intro into elections, our safe voting system, the election equipment, your election team, election procedures, and special situations you may encounter on Election Day. When talking about elections, we first have to talk about voters. To be a voter in the state of Ohio, you need to be a resident of the state of Ohio, at least 18 years old by Election Day, registered somewhere in Ohio at least 30 days prior to the election, vote in the precinct in which you live, and have proper ID when voting. Voters in Montgomery County are divided into precincts. Montgomery County has 360 precincts for voting purposes. All registered voters in a precinct vote on the candidates or issues that affect their precinct. Voters must vote in the precinct they live in on Election Day. If a voter moves to a new address the day prior to Election Day, they'll vote at their new address on Election Day. If a voter plans to move the day after Election Day to a new location, they'll still vote in the precinct where they live on Election Day. Precincts are roughly equal based on population. We have about 380,000 registered voters in Montgomery County and 360 precincts for about 1,000 voters per precinct. This is what a precinct looks like. In addition to precincts, we also have polling locations. And occasionally you'll hear in the media or elsewhere a kind of a confusion between a precinct and a polling location. A precinct is a geographical area that houses voters. A polling location is where voters go to vote on Election Day. Polling locations in Montgomery County can house more than one precinct. Some of our locations house up to 5 precincts. Voters from the various precincts go to the polling location that they're assigned on Election Day to cast their ballot. Your polling location is staffed by a polling location team. A polling location supervisor, or PLS, supervises that team on Election Day. Each precinct assigned to your voting location is made up of 4 precinct election officials, or PEOs, such as yourself, who serve the voters of your precinct on Election Day. 2 of those precinct election officials represent the Democratic Party. 2 of those precinct election officials represent the Republican Party. On Election Day, there are certain responsibilities we ask of you as a precinct election official. Plan how you're going to arrive at your polling location prior to Election Day. Arrive no later than 5:45 a.m. Assist in setting up your location and preparing it for voters on Election Day. Assist voters and help them as necessary. Record pertinent information and other things that are asked of you by the Board of Elections. At the end of the day, pack up the supplies and prepare to return them to the Board of Elections. And most importantly, conduct the election professionally, properly, and lawfully to the best of your ability. As a precinct election official, there are certain things you're not allowed to do. Please don't discuss candidates, politics, or issues while serving at the polls. Please don't wear any campaign material or anything else that may influence the voter's decision when voting. We ask that you give your full attention to the voters and not use any electronic devices or other things that distract you from processing voters while they are present. If you're related to a candidate on the ballot, please contact us prior to Election Day so we can ensure you're not serving at a polling location where that candidate is listed on the ballot. There are many laws, rules, and regulations that govern elections, such as the U.S. Constitution and other federal statutes, the Ohio Constitution and Ohio Revised Code, and directives issued by the Ohio Secretary of State. We've discussed the basic framework of voting in Montgomery County. But what do we vote on? In even years, voters vote on federal offices, such as president and members of Congress, state offices, such as governor and our state legislature, and county offices, such as county commission, auditor, treasurer, etc. In odd years, municipal offices, such as mayors, city councils, and school boards. When do we vote? Primary elections are held in May, except for presidential years when they're held earlier in the year. Occasionally, we have special elections in August. And every November, voters go to the polls to vote in a general election. Our number one job on Election Day is to inspire voter confidence. We do this by presenting a professional atmosphere at the polling location. We ask that you dress appropriately, but comfortably on Election Day. Keep your work area neat, tidy, and presentable for the voters. We know you're going to do a great job on Election Day, and we want voters to leave the polling location knowing that their vote was recorded in a secure, accurate, fair, and efficient manner.